It's Phil's Pop Culture Podcast.
Watching television.
A dynamite place to be.
Dynamite!
Sponsored by Vandelay Industries, importers and exporters of fine latex products since 1992. And now, the man who taught Frank Burns how to eat worms, here's your host, Phil Kahn.
Thank you, John Meany, wherever you are. This is indeed Phil's Pop Culture Podcast, and I am your host, Phil Kahn. I'm really excited about today's guest. He's an Italian-American actor born and raised in Brooklyn. One of the nicest and most genuine guys you'd ever want to meet, Gaetano Iacono has appeared in a number of independent films, including Doughboys, Street Lure, Twists of Fate, Back in the Day, and Once Upon a Time in Brooklyn. He's acted with the likes of Alec Baldwin, William DeMeo, and Vincent Pastore, and yet, if you ask him, he's still waiting for his big break. I recently sat down and had a conversation with Guy about the trials, tribulations, and triumphs surrounding his acting career and life in general. Let's take a listen to my conversation with my friend, the very talented and entertaining Gaetano Iacono. Guy, thanks so much for being on. It's a pleasure to have you.
Oh, thank you so much, Phil.
You know, we met, what was it? I think it was about 9 years ago at Chiller Theater Expo in Parsippany, New Jersey. Do you remember that night?
I do.
It was fun.
It was a great night.
We went there to meet Jerry Rochelle.
Yeah, my good old friend Jerry.
And do you remember Mickey Dolenz sang that night?
He did. Everyone sang that night. I think everyone that can sing was on the stage with him.
Did you go on stage?
No, I don't have the nuts.
Before we get into your acting career, and I'm really curious to talk about it, I was telling you before we went on the air, I love on Facebook when you post like an Italian word of the day or phrase of the day for your friends. So I was hoping you could give me a fun Italian phrase to start this off.
Very good. Let's see. Well, the Italian phrase, I put it up there because, I try to keep things positive, and I'll say something like, okay. Let's see.
Come up with a good one.
I have to come up with a good one. Let's see. Condivive e ama e la vita è migliore. So, what I said was share and love and life will be good. I like to keep things positive,
Absolutely. You're a very positive guy. I love following you on Facebook. I love your Italian phrases. That's a good one. I don't think I could repeat it, but it was a good one.
Well, condivive means to share, and love is ama, and it's pretty simple. Share and love, live, love, laugh. It's a long, when Americans say live, love, and laugh, it's kind of like that,
I love it. That's great. Hey, listen, I want to get into your acting career. When exactly did you catch the acting bug?
Oh, wow.
Was it as a young kid? Was it in your adult life?
It was kind of late. I would say 2006 is pretty much when I first started. It was totally by accident. I picked up a copy of the Staten Island Advance, and I was reading an article that said that they were shooting a mob movie on Staten Island. And it was kind of a spin-off, although it wasn't studio-backed, and it had absolutely nothing to do with Robert De Niro's project. It was a spin-off of one of the characters in the movie The Bronx Tale.
Oh, I love that movie.
One of my favorites. It was a character on that show called Jimmy Whispers.
Yeah.
The actor that played that role was Clem Caserta.
Yes.
And so the guy decided to make a independent movie, continue using the name of the character, and the name of the film was called Jimmy Whispers Goes Back to Mulberry Street or something along those lines. And, I didn't think anything of it. I have some property upstate. I was planning to go upstate for the weekend, and I went up with my dad. When I came back, I was looking for the paper because I was thinking about going on the audition. My wife told me that she threw it away, and luckily enough, it didn't end up in the back of the truck yet. It was still in my recycle bucket outside. So I took the paper out of the trash and realized that I missed the audition because it was that weekend. So I put a call through to the woman that was handling, well, whether she was handling it or she was involved, and her name was Barbara Klein. And I spoke to her on the phone, and she liked the way I talked. She thought that I had a good attitude. She said, go down. They were having the callbacks. So I go to a dance studio here on Staten Island where they were having the callbacks. They took me in, and they accepted me. And I was very happy about that. I thought I was going to be a big star. And I worked, I followed the film around. I worked with them for about almost 3 weeks. A few days during that 3 weeks when they needed me, and I did background work. I was very happy about it, and I thought I was going to be the star of the film. As it turns out, when the film came out, I didn't even see myself. I was like, what the hell is going on here? This shit don't fly right with me. So, it really pissed me off. It kind of motivated me to the point where it's like, you know what, you guys could have, after all that I've done, I'm thinking to myself, nobody got paid on that project because it was an independent, and, it was one of those on the arm type of things. And
yeah.
I gave them 3 weeks of my life. I was on call. They called me in 3 or 4 times. So I don't even remember how many days I put in, hours and hours. It takes a long time. I mean, at least give me 3 seconds that, pan the room, and at least I could say, oh, there I go, something like that. And it was absolutely nothing. Phil, I might as well have stayed home. So, that kind of motivated me, and then I started buying Backstage magazine, and back then there was a newspaper called Backstage. It's still around, but I don't know if they have them in newsstands anymore. Now everything's online. But I started going out on auditions. I got myself little speaking parts on student films, and I started getting myself independent movies, and then I started working my way up to getting like a few bucks here and there. Then as the years passed, my roles got bigger and bigger, and I still haven't gotten the role, but I'm happy with what I've done. I've done some pretty decent stuff, and I'm building a little circle of friends. As the time goes by, there's people that you meet that you know that they're good people and they love you and they respect you, and then there's people that you're like, you're a dick. You just don't want to work with them, and it's like, this is not why, as a kid, watching all the old time Hollywood celebrities, like Lucille Ball and, Jerry Lewis and, Dean Martin, that whole circle. It always seemed so classy and glamorous and fun. It always seemed like they always loved each other. I got to tell you,
it's not like that.
It's not like that at all. It can be, but unfortunately, it's so competitive. I guess maybe it's at the level that I'm at. I hope it gets better as I grow in the business. I think it's getting better just because I'm letting all the bullshit roll off my back like a duck would let water roll off its back, But the thing is, as you learn, you become more seasoned. You filter through people quickly. You kind of know who's there to hurt you, who's there to help you, and who's there that can't help you, that loves you, and you kind of figure it out fast. And you become a lot more humble when something comes along. I remember when I got a role in the movie Doughboys.
Oh, I loved you in Doughboys. If the listening audience has not taken a look at it, you got to see the movie. You play the older brother of Louis Lombardi. You own a bake shop. I think it was your late father's bake shop. He was played by Vincent Pastore, right?
That's correct. Anyway,
Tremendous. But go ahead.
thank you. That was my first big starring role in the film, and I got to tell you, it was a great experience. I loved it. Everybody on the set was fantastic. It was a lot of fun doing. But at the same time, the growing pains that I was going through when the film was completed, it was very hard for me to handle because I didn't know any better. I didn't know anywhere. I didn't know anything at all, actually.
Well, what happened? What happened that bothered you?
I thought that I was a big movie star, I guess, and then, you realize real quick that in the movie industry, you're only as good as what you're doing or what you're doing next. Because as soon as something's in the can and it's gone, everybody forgets about you. And it's not a good feeling. It's like, wow, actors really have a lot to deal with. We do it because, well, I don't know. I would imagine that the reason that actors become actors is because obviously they love to act, but deep down inside, I think it's because they want to be accepted.
Oh, is that the way it is with you?
Well, I've always had a rough time when I was younger. There was bullying going on. I was the good chubby kid. I never really, started fights. I was always very well-mannered. And, there was other kids that would realize that they can push me to a brink, like they can get away with more than they might with someone else. And this went on for quite a while until one day in high school, there was these kids that were bothering me and I just couldn't take it anymore and I beat the shit out of them. And long story short, that was the last day I was ever bullied. I ended up becoming a different person. It felt good. It felt good to not get picked on, But I guess it's because I want people to like me. I like playing roles that people like. I mean, I love playing mob roles. Comes very easy because I'm a big Italian guy and I'm ugly, so. Well,
I saw you in, I think it was William DeMayo's movie, Once Upon a Time in Brooklyn.
That was great. William is a great guy. I love William.
You played who? Slick Sally?
I play the role of Slick Sally / Fat Sally, and I don't want to give too much away. It was a really nice role. It was a lot of fun to do for me. If you guys get a chance, anyone that's listening, definitely have a look. William DeMayo is a very, very talented actor. He has a lot coming up in this next year, and I think he's going to be a tremendous movie star. Oh,
he's terrific. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, he's a class act, I tell you. So, I'm glad that he thinks of me once in a while. Because it's all who you know, and I'm glad that I know him. He's a good man.
Absolutely. Now, you acted with Alec Baldwin in that movie, right?
I did. I didn't act with Alec Baldwin in that film. And back in the day with Willie DeMayo, I did scenes with Alec Baldwin.
Oh, okay. See, I'm mixing up my movies with you.
Yeah, I worked with Willie a couple of times. I had a nice role, a really nice juicy role in Once Upon a Time in Brooklyn. I was very happy to have that. And then I don't know exactly why, but I didn't quite fit in, I guess, because if you fit, you get the role. But Willie called me and he told me that he needed a guy to do a couple of scenes with Alec Baldwin. I played one of Alec. Alec was a mob boss in the movie, and I played kind of one of his henchmen, so to speak. And I had a couple of lines. It was fun. I was just happy to be thought of and to be part of it, you know?
Absolutely. Oh, it's a terrific film. Tell me about what it was like working with Alec Baldwin. What's he like?
Oh, he's fun. He's a good guy. He was taking, he's a really nice guy. He was taking pictures with everyone. He was really very outgoing. When we were having downtime, we just bullshit a little bit. Very down to earth person.
Yeah, I remember when I watched it, I'm like, I've got to get a screen capture shot of Guy with Alec Baldwin. And if you remember, I sent it to you to put on your Facebook wall.
Thank you for watching the film, and thank you for sending the shot. Thank you.
My pleasure. Oh, you've been very entertaining. And recently I saw your short film, which was very interesting. Was it Don't Feed the Troll?
Yes, that was.
Tell me about that one.
Well, it's all about circles, and Mark Fratto is the director of that film. And Mark is one of the first people that I ever worked with. Talk about building circles. I love Mark. He's a great director. He's super talented. And Mark gave me my first role in a movie where I had billing, and the name of the film was called Zombies Anonymous. It was about living in the world along with zombies as part of society. And I played the part of the name of my character was the Gooch, and we were part of this militant army that we would go out. We hated zombies and we wanted to get rid of them, And basically, it showed like how you have to live with people you don't want to live with, kind of thing. It was good. So we became friends, and I gave him a call. I have a cabin up in the woods, and I said, "Hey, Mark, I have this cabin. I'm going to be knocking it down." He says, "You got any ideas?" I was thinking about doing a short film just to keep busy,
Yeah.
So we will put some friends together and make a movie. And he said, let me think about it. Let's see. He comes back with this brilliant idea about this cyber troll that gets menaced by a real troll. And the premise of the film, it has a lot to do with cyberbullying and the effects. And, in today's society, we really needed to address it. Because quite honestly, people really need to get a grip, especially with these politics. I mean, look.
Oh, it's really deteriorated.
It's disgusting.
So much hatred. It's a shame. But isn't it interesting? You mentioned the circles. You're telling me about in your childhood how you were bullied, and here this short film tackles online bullying. Isn't that interesting?
Straight up. It's straight up and very, very direct. And, well, you saw it. We didn't hold back.
If you don't give too much away, but basically you're one of these online trolls that hides behind his computer screen and just rips everybody thinking there are no consequences. And guess what? There were consequences.
There are consequences. Words sometimes could be worse than somebody punching you in the face, because everyone is born with a clean soul, Phil. Nice, pure, and white. But every time somebody says something to hurt you or does something or pokes at you, there's a little crease in that soul, and it gets blemished. So you want to try to keep people, you want to try to be nice to everybody. I really do try to be nice to everybody. If I see that it becomes too much work for me, I just cut them off.
Smart move. Life is too short, right?
Yeah, life is too short. When it gets to the point that every time I see or talk to somebody, I feel my blood pressure rising. It's like, okay, I'm done with this one.
Well, you're a good man. I love that quote. I think I'm going to steal it from you.
What's that?
About the soul being clean when you. I can't put it into words as eloquently as you did, but I really like that concept.
Well, it's true. I mean, when a person is born, everybody has a clean soul. It's pure and white, And then how they live their life is it's a canvas. And how they live their life, it could be beautiful, nice, tranquil images, or it could be dark and hatred and evil. It's all how you decide to live your life. I choose to live it positively. Some people might not agree with you. Some people might not agree that I try to keep it positive. You know what?
What does your wife Sue say?
My wife, well, she still stands by my side, so I guess she agrees with me. I think she likes the way I do things.
I had to give her a little plug there.
Yeah, thank you. She's not around right now, otherwise she would have chimed in.
Yeah, she was helping us set up as we were trying to get this thing to work. So, and we were glad to have you on. You're listening to Phil's Pop Culture Podcast. What I wanted to get into, it's funny. I've had a lifelong dream of having a cameo appearance in a movie or TV show. Just one line, that's all I want, or even to be in the background. And when I met you, you're telling me about some of these projects. And at the time you were just, your career hadn't blossomed yet. And you were talking about how disappointed you were. And I'm thinking, oh my God, if I was this guy, I'd be loving life. Even just appear in one movie would be a dream. I remember you saying that you would always wish you had been on The Sopranos. You said, take a look at me. Wouldn't I have been perfect for The Sopranos? And you were disappointed about that.
Very. I still am till today. I mean, I got to be honest with you. That was one of the first shows that showed interest in me. They looked at me several times. I didn't have a stitch of acting career in me. And I had this agent that kept throwing me in front of them, and they liked me. I had callbacks. They were thinking about it. But I can understand now today why I didn't get the role. But back then I was really pissed. I mean, I'm still pissed. I'm pissed. I'm pissed now that the timing was off, because if the timing, let me put it to you this way, Phil.
Okay.
I really feel that if I would have gotten cast, if I would have gotten called to be cast in the film today, I would have been part of the cast of that show.
I believe that.
Guaranteed 110%. And there are people that have gotten on the show. I have lots of friends that have been on the show. I mean, they've been on the show. They were on the show one time. Yeah. A lot more than me, a lot more than me. And and hats off to them. But they go telling everybody that they were, they were part of The Sopranos, and that they were part of, they make it seem like they were part of, really part of the show. I'm like, that just annoys me. Just tell the truth. They shot you. You came, you got off a bus. You didn't look to the left, and you got hit by a car. That was your career on The Sopranos. Now, just do me a favor. Shut the fuck up.
But you're saying it's a competitive business.
It is.
The competitive industry. If it were me, I might be tempted to do the same thing. If I'm trying to make my mark, if I had a 5-minute cameo in The Sopranos, I'm going to try to build on that to say, I was in The Sopranos.
Of course. I'm not discrediting what people do. There are a lot of people out there. I have, you get to learn who the talented people are and who the people that don't have talent are. Everyone has talent, but some people they reek of talent. And there are so many talented New York actors that haven't really gotten a break yet. And, I'm not going to say that I'm up there with them, because quite honestly, I look at them and I'm a little nervous. I say, wow, these guys are good. I don't know if I'm ever going to get up there with them. So, you got to be really friendly with them, because what happens is, hopefully when they make it, if you're nice and you do the right thing, you might get that 5 minutes if they become big, So that's all I want. I just want to get along with everybody. It's very hard to do, because people are very fickle. And I hate to say this, but the truth is, there's a lot of ass kissing. So, in discussion, for example, you might turn around and there might be talk about a certain person, and people say, oh, Jesus, that guy, whatever, and then because people want to score brownie points, they'll go running back and say, oh, and they'll start trouble, they create drama. And, you just got to stay away from all that. Keep it positive all the time. And basically, I've gotten to the point where I don't even go out to network anymore. I just sit home, hope to God that, somebody is doing something and they remember me, and I just try to do the best job I possibly can every opportunity I get to work on something, and hopefully it's better than the last time I worked on something, and I just keep building on that, and my talent can speak for itself, because I'm really not good at the ass kissing. And that's just the bottom line, how it is. It's I look at the industry and I watch them all circle around each other, and it reminds me of a pack of wolves when they start sniffing each other's asses. and I'm like, you know what? There's nothing wrong with it. It's just the way it is. And the dominant male is the one that leads the pack. And you know what? I don't care. I don't really want to be a wolf. I'm a lamb. I'm a nice guy. I don't hurt anybody.
Good for you. Don't change it all. You gotta at least live with yourself, and it sounds like that's your philosophy for life. Good for you.
Thank you.
It's funny, you talked right at the very beginning when we first started chatting about how you've been in some mob movies. It's very simple for you. I caught a little project you were working on, and I don't know the status of it. You were trying to get a children's show going, right?
Yes.
What was it called? Mr. Bebo or Mr. What was that?
The Mr. Bebo show is something that is still a work in progress. We're going to be working on a full episode. We're going to do like a half-hour pilot episode this coming summer once this weather breaks here in New York, because we don't want kids catching cold. The weather's terrible right now. So it's a great show. It teaches kids basically what you and I learned growing up. The simple things like how to say please and thank you and just be nice, maybe hold the door open for somebody, etiquette, how to act in public, just things. It's not that parents today don't teach their kids these things. They're not around their kids enough to enforce it, because when we were growing up, it was the majority of the households had the breadwinner and the stay-at-home mom, or in some cases maybe even stay-at-home dad, and there was one salary was enough to make ends meet, and the mom brought up the children and was there for them 24/7, catered to them, taught them manners, took them around. I mean, I remember when we would go on an airplane, everybody would get dressed up nice, clean. Now you take a flight, you got to see these people. They have ripped pants and they go on the plane with flip-flops and T-shirts and, scraggly looking. And I'm like, for Christ's sake, I'm thinking to myself, have the decency to just at least put on a clean pair of jeans. At least a clean pair of jeans, and tuck your shirt in, brush your hair, brush your teeth, for God's sake.
Do something.
Do something. Have a little dignity. Have some class. These people, we've really let ourselves go.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
We really let ourselves go. Back to the politics. Like I said earlier, people are all in everyone's face about politics. Listen, I understand. Look, your candidate might have lost or your candidate might have won. If your candidate won, take the high road. You don't have to gloat about it. That's fine. If your candidate lost, you don't have to cry about it and protest and cause a scene. Suck it up. Suck it up. And if you won, shut the fuck up. Both ways. Look, I know where I lean towards. I'm not giving any opinions, but really, people have to stop. People have to stop and focus on life. We're all distracted with bullshit that's not important. Focus your energy on something that's going to make your life better.
Do you hear that, folks? That's my friend, actor Gaetano Iacono. A lot of people that are going to be listening to this are my Facebook friends or Facebook followers, your Facebook followers, and there are a lot of them that are guilty of doing exactly what you're saying. They're just constantly either being bullies or whining or accusatory, and it's sickening to me.
Yeah. Well,
shame.
I don't know. I don't want to talk. I don't want to say anything to offend anybody. So I'm just not going to say anything. But people, quite honestly, they really have to get a grip. They can't cry over everything. Get a grip. You know, the first thing that I did for my kids,
Yeah.
I bought them a goldfish. I put the goldfish in the tank in a bowl, and I said, "That's your goldfish. Take care of it." And when the goldfish died,
Yeah.
I didn't go buy them another one.
Oh.
I made them understand that it's part of life. You take care of things, it goes well. When it, eventually, of course, I did buy another goldfish. I have fish tanks, aquariums are one of my things that I like in my house. But you get my point. Do you?
Absolutely.
So it's not like, oh, it's okay, we'll go buy another one. Yeah. No, it's not okay. You know what? You didn't feed the fish. You didn't change the water. The fish died. It's your fault it died. The fish is dead. Bottom line. You're 6 years old. Learn to take care of things.
There you go. No, very, very valuable lesson. So you're going to build that into the Mr. Bebo show, huh?
I'm gonna. It's a lot more. We have. There's a few characters on the show. We're gonna have about Mary Manners is a character that's gonna focus on teaching kids right from wrong, how to get along. Then Mr. Bebo is gonna be there, pretty much all over the place, just helping out, keeping the ends together. And we're gonna have Frankie, the fruit vendor, which every episode will introduce a new fruit and vegetable, so the kids learn to eat healthy. And
well, you're not going to have like a Mr. Pasta or a Mr. Rigatoni.
no Mr. Rigatoni, but Frankie Fruits is Italian, and he's the Italian fruit vendor. I have to keep to my heritage a little bit. I hope people understand. Maybe I'll throw in an Italian word of the day, or some. We have a lot. We have so much to work with. I want to teach the kids what people in your neighborhood do. We have a segment about what like what people do around you. Like where the kids would meet. The fireman or the pizza guy or the shoemaker or somebody, to learn that people work and they earn money so that they could pay their bills and have a life. So kids don't think that money really, my mom used to say, "What do you think? Money grows on trees?" Well, at least this way it'll kind of guide them a little bit, and let them understand that people work and, they have to earn. They have to earn a living and survive.
Speaking of earning a living, I know, we've talked back and forth about some of your disappointments and how you wanted bigger roles. I remember you posted on Facebook that you were going to be appearing on Shades of Blue. That's the Ray Liotta, Jennifer Lopez show. And you were played a morgue attendant, and you were upset because they showed you sliding up the thing, but you didn't have any lines, and there was music playing over it, and you were disappointed, right?
I was very disappointed. I don't get too many opportunities like that, and when I get one, I'm really proud of it. And I had a very nice scene with the actress. Her name is Dre DiMatteo, and she plays one of the characters on the show. And it was really, the scene was all about her, obviously, but I was a morgue attendant. I go in there. We had a little tiny bit of dialogue, and I'm not going to make it out any more than what it is. It was just a couple of sentences, and but I was very happy to do it. And when I watched the show, thinking and telling everyone I'm on the show, watch the show, I have a couple of lines, all of a sudden you're on the show, and, great shot for those 3 seconds that you saw me. But, it was really embarrassing because, here you are thinking, I'm sorry, Phil, here you are thinking, wow, I finally got some dialogue. I'm going to be on national television. Everybody in the whole country is going to watch it. Tell all my Facebook friends, my family, everyone watches the show. And then nothing.
See, I think you're looking at it all wrong. I watched it, and I know you didn't have any lines, but I was so thrilled when you came on screen. It didn't matter that you didn't say any lines. I'm like, I know that guy. That's Guy. I thought it was so terrific. And I'm sorry, but all your Facebook friends and other friends felt the same exact way.
Yes, I know that. I know that they did, and I was also very happy to see myself. But this is the thing. When you do something like that, when you go home, the only thing you're thinking as an actor looking for a break is, I hope that they loved me and that they call me back every time someone dies and they need a morgue attendant. Now, I don't know. I don't, I don't really watch the show on a regular basis. I don't think that the morgue attendant is going to be the biggest character. But what I'm thinking, I just want them to call me back, and it's been about, I don't know, about a year and a half since I was on that show. I haven't heard from anybody. As a matter of fact, things have gotten worse. Well, you know what? I'm happy with what I have. I'm blessed with what I've done, and I'm looking forward to things that I'm going to do. It's not like I don't have anything on my plate. I just can't talk about things right now because I don't like to talk about what I'm doing until it's in the can, edited, and done.
But there is stuff kind of floating out there, though. I know you can't share it, but there are irons in the fire for you.
There are a couple of things that I'm working on. If you go look me up on IMDb, you'll see that there's future projects there. And then I have my show, the Mr. Bebo show, that I'm hoping comes to fruition and becomes successful. I really would love for that to happen because it's such a great idea. I mean, kids it's just a good old-fashioned character-driven children's show without all the cartoons and fluff.
It kind of sounds like a Mr. Rogers, an updated, Staten Island version of Mr. Rogers.
Well, if you want to look at it that way, I'm thinking about it more of a nationwide version or global version of Mr. Rogers. But,
okay.
I'm Mr. Rogers, maybe Captain Kangaroo. Do you remember Captain Kangaroo?
Absolutely. And Mr. Green Jeans and Bunny Rabbit.
Green Jeans. So I want to have kind of something along those lines where real people send the message, not puppets and cartoons. That way we could have actors working and people involved. I mean, I understand people are working when they make animations. I want to try to mix it up. It's hard. Millions of ideas run in and out of your brain. And the only thing I wish is one day that God would send me an angel and say, Guy, I've watched you. I love your work. I want to help you. I'm going to make this happen for you. Someone with a lot of experience in producing and just really taking the reins, because I don't know. I can't figure it out. I don't know how to get it done. I'm trying to get it done. It's very difficult.
Well, you know how you get it done is keeping the faith. You have tremendous faith. I know you've been frustrated, but I guarantee things are going to work out for you. I know you turned the big 5-0 this summer, and
oh boy.
Now, how do you feel about that? I mean, I think this is going to be your decade.
Well, I hope you're right. Well, let's put it this way. I can't take the young stud role anymore. That's for sure.
Oh, you're still a young stud. Who are you kidding?
I remember when I first started acting.
Yeah.
I used to tell people around me, it seems like all the roles are for older guys.
Yeah.
Now, I'm at that age where I was looking at back then, and it seems to me like all the roles, like I'm looking on television, I'm looking at all these new television shows that are on.
Yeah.
And I would have to play one of these actors' parents. That I'm getting old. It seems like all the roles are now changing, and it seems like everything is very youthful. I mean, everyone that's on television now, if you look at it, they're like in their mid-20s to early 30s, mid-30s, and the veteran actors are the older ones. So it's going to be very hard for me to break in at my age. But, I don't know, maybe I'll make some phone calls and get somebody whacked.
Yeah, you can have your own reality show. It'll be like OJ.
Oh my God, no! I don't want to become famous for doing something like that.
It's interesting. I'm looking over your IMDb page, and by the way, you're listening to Phil's Pop Culture Podcast. Guest is actor Gaetano Iacono. No, you're not quite where you want to be, but I would love to be in your shoes. So it all depends on where you're looking at it from.
I guess you're right. I always tell people that too. when people feeling down on their luck and saying, "Oh, why me?" You know, I'm really blessed. I got to be honest.
You are.
I have a family that loves me. I have the most important things in life. I think I have. I feel selfish when I say, you know, why am I not a movie star yet? Because, you know, this is my own personal thing that I want. It's not that I need to have it to make my life any better. You always hear these stories about these actors eating out of trash cans and putting their everything into it. You know, I honestly, I hope they all make it before me, you know, but hurry up and make it so that I can get my chance.
Now, why do you want it? Let's say all of a sudden I waved my magic wand and gave you your chance. Why do you want it so badly?
You know, first off, I love it. You know, when you get in the moment
Yeah.
and become the character,
Yeah.
I can't even express to you the feeling that you get. Only another actor could understand where I'm coming from. So when you become the character, you totally have an out-of-body experience. You are not you. You're not yourself. You become this person that you're portraying for the film. You really become them.
You know, there was one scene. Sorry to interrupt. There was one scene. Getting back to the movie Doughboys, there was a scene where you were in the bank, and you just found out that your little brother, played by Louis Lombardi, had taken all the money. And oh my God, it's such a powerful scene. That like made the movie. You were so terrific, and you were terrific in the whole movie. But that particular scene was powerful. And as I'm listening to you speak, I'm thinking that kind of seems like one of those moments where you became the character.
I remember the scene. I know the scene that you're speaking of, and I got to be honest with you. Yes, absolutely, 100%. There were times in that film where I was coasting through it and just going through the motions that I didn't feel it as strongly, but that was one of the moments in the film where I was totally 110% engulfed in the character. That was definitely one of them. That part, and there was another part that there was a part where I played in the bank when I found out. Well, I don't want to give too much away for people if they haven't seen it, but there was a part where I was in the bank and I was very upset about something that had happened to me.
Yeah.
It was something that my brother did, and that was another moment. That was another part where, you know, I've had quite a few throughout the years. You know, I just want to get to the point where I can do an entire film feeling that way. I haven't had that yet.
So that's what you want. It's not necessarily the fame and stardom. It's not necessarily the big break. It's that you want to go through an entire film feeling that way.
Well, that, and you know, you're going to think I'm selfish, but I want people to remember me when I die. You know, I'm going to give you some names. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
Jackie Gleason.
Yep.
Who is he?
Oh, the Honeymooners.
Okay, the Honeymooners, but he's alive. He's alive in all of us because we see him. We see him on television all the time. Every year they run marathons.
Right. He never dies.
He never died. Exactly. Lucille Ball. She's another one. Bob Hope. You know, these are people that will live forever. I want to be one of those people, Phil.
You want to be one of those people.
That's all I want. I want to be one of those people. I guess the thing is, I fear that when I die, people will forget me. And I don't want people to forget me.
Well, you're an unforgettable man right now. Don't forget that.
Thank you.
There are a lot of people out there that think you're a tremendous actor and quite a talent and just an overall good egg. So don't ever forget that. You know, you're still here. Remember that.
Oh, I know. I don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon. But you know, I would just love to be able to achieve that. You know, to be able to. You know, it feels so nice when you walk out in the streets. You know, after I did the movie Once Upon a Time in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I was walking and I went into a 7-Eleven to get a cup of coffee. And I'm ringing up at the register, and there was these two younger guys, well, younger to me because I'm an old bastard, but there was these two younger guys, and he goes, "Oh, hey, what? I just saw you in the movie." And this is around the time that the film came out. It was on, it was on Netflix. It was all over the place.
Right.
I was like, "Oh yeah." He says, "Oh man, that was great. You played the guy Sally." I was like, "Oh, thank you so much." You don't know. I almost pissed my pants. I almost pissed my pants because these strangers walked up to me and recognized me from a film that I was in. I was like I was in my glory. I would love to have that happen to me on a regular basis. I mean, I don't want to be able. I don't want to say that I wish for paparazzi to be waiting outside my front door, because I don't think that I would really appreciate that much, because I try to keep my life private with my family. But I just would love it to, if, like maybe once a week or, every couple of weeks or so, somebody would say, "Hey, Gaetano, what's up? Great job in whatever." That's all. That's all I really want. If I get that, I'd be happy.
There you go. I think it's going to happen.
I hope so.
You're a good person. You have faith. You've got talent. It's got to break for you. It's just, I know you're thinking, how can I get the break? The break's going to come to you.
The thing with me, I think a lot. I think too much. And I look around me, and Facebook doesn't help either, because I have a lot of active friends on my Facebook.
Yeah.
And I see it all the time. Everybody's working on something. But I never get that call. "Hey, guy, what are you doing? We're doing something. You want to work with us, whatever." And I'm like, wow, they forget me. It's like out of sight, out of mind. These people, I know that they're out. They a lot of them are divorced, or they never got married, and they're out there all the time, and they see each other a lot, and I don't go out quite as much as I like. I'm married, I have my family, I stay home. If I go out, I'll go to a premiere. If I work on a movie, I'll go to premiere, or if there's a film that I'm in that gets put into a film festival, I try very hard to go to the festival, if it makes it to the festival, as long as I could afford the travel expenses. I do the best that I can. But these guys are like, they're out every week. They're out. They start going out on Tuesday night, and they don't stop until Sunday. And they always see each other. They're always at these parties, and I'm not there, and I could understand. So hopefully, hey guys, if you're listening, fucking cast me in something.
That's right. Don't forget about Guy.
Yeah, man. I never hurt anybody.
Hey, listen, there's a segment I want to do in these podcasts. It's kind of like a rapid fire thing. I throw a quick question, or maybe I mention somebody's name, and you just hit me back with the first thing you think of. Are you game for playing that?
Sure, why not?
Okay. What was your favorite role?
My favorite role, Doughboys.
Who's your favorite all-time actor?
Don't have one.
Who's the favorite actor or actress you've ever worked with?
William DeMeo.
Let's see. What's your favorite meal?
Oh my God. Favorite meal. Okay, so my favorite meal would be pizza.
Pizza. Anything on
I
it?
love pizza.
Just plain pizza, just with cheese? You want some
Any
pepperoni
kind
on
of
it?
pizza. Pizza with sauteed onions is my favorite.
Ooh, I like that.
Caramelized. They have to be caramelized sauteed onions.
Yes, do you hear that, all you pizza makers out there? If you want to give Guy a free pizza, make sure the onions are caramelized. What advice would you have for a new actor or actress that's trying to break into the business?
Okay, well, my advice would be, don't do it.
Really?
But I can understand how someone would have this dream and this vision in their mind, and the advice would be, just do it. If you want to do it, Just get out there and give it your best. That's all. But don't be disappointed if it doesn't happen, because it's a 1 in a million shot.
Yep. Okay, I'm going to give you some actors' names, and you can respond. Well, we already did this one, but I'll throw it to you again. Alec Baldwin.
Good guy.
William DeMeo.
Nice guy.
Armand Asante.
I've never really got to know him. I can't pass judgment.
Okay. Vincent Pastore.
Nice guy. Hard worker.
Yeah? Did you work with Kathy Moriarty?
No, I never did.
Oh, she was in one of your movies.
She was in the movie, but we had no scenes together.
You had no scenes together. Did you have a scene with Ice-T?
Ice-T's a nice guy. I met Ice-T. I didn't work with him, but he's friendly.
It's Lemonade, by the way. I love that Lemonade commercial with him.
I love that
man.
commercial.
Delicious. Doughboys.
Lots of fun.
Street Lore.
One of my best experiences ever.
Really?
Yes.
Why do you say that?
I made some great friends on that set. Till today, we go out together and we eat together, and our families have become friends also.
That's terrific. I'm trying to come up with one more good one to send you off on. Okay, if you could pick any role, and it could be a movie or TV show that's already been held, or it could be something that's going to be. If you could pick any role to be in, what would it be?
The role of a mentor.
The role of a mentor. Interesting. Is that a character in a movie, or just to be a mentor in real life?
No, well, in life, I like to believe I already am a mentor. I like to pass judgment to the kids, but I would love to have a role in a film or television show, like, Uncle Tony. The kids come to him, there's trouble, and he gives them advice, and kind of like a psychologist, but without a degree.
Understood. Hey, listen, Guy, this has been a true pleasure. I am so happy you agreed to be on. I love your work. Thank you so much.
It was my pleasure. Thank you for the honor of having me as a guest. I really appreciate it very much. Phil, you're a great guy. Much success to your new show, and I'll see you soon, brother.
Yeah, I would love to have you back on, and I'm going to throw one line at you here. Ready?
All right, go ahead.
Buona fortuna.
Thank you.
Best of luck.
Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that.
I'd like to thank my friend, actor Gaetano Iacono, for being a guest on this podcast. Guy, keep chasing those dreams, and remember, no matter where you go from here, you're already unforgettable.
Watching television, watching television.
We hope you've had a dynamite time listening to this edition of Phil's Pop Culture Podcast. Join us again next time for another stroll down memory lane. Until then, let's be careful out there.
Watching television, watching television. Watching television, watching television. Hey, I'm coming over, we won't have to talk. Let all the bright lights come out of the box. Ooh. Watching television, watching television.